Hello. It's my rankings of all UK Eurovision entries, places 7 to 4. Welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. Please do click on that subscribe button and notification bell. As always, please do like, share and comment below. We've only reached the penultimate video in my long-running series of the rankings of all UK Eurovision entries, and if you've been keeping track, you'll know that in the last 7 we've still got a couple of runners-up places and all 5 of the UK's winning entries. And I don't apologise at all for having the winning entries this high up in the rankings. They're such sort of icons for any kind of UK Eurovision fan, I think. So it's not surprising to see them so high as they are. But we'll start off with number 7, which is 1988, Scott Fitzgerald and Go. Now, Scott Fitzgerald, I think, and people may correct me on this, I think he is our last kind of main, or last kind of lead singer of the UK entry. He was Scottish, and he was famously missed out from winning in 1988 by just a mere point from Celine Dion. I wonder what happened to her. But this is a really lovely ballad. I think it's pretty underrated. I think probably by many people, or if they remember it at all. But I think it's a really beautiful ballad. And Scott Fitzgerald himself is he's such a nice man. He has sort of continued to, he's been back to perform at a number of kind of Eurovision events. I saw him at Eurostars a couple of years ago and had the opportunity to have a chat with him in the bar as well. And he's a lovely, lovely man. And while it must feel, frustrating that he missed out on winning by such a narrow margin, to run someone like Celine Dion that close, I think, is pretty good going. And his connection with Eurovision sort of hasn't ended. Aside from going along to various events, his son was actually a member of the early 2000s boy band Busted, but also went on to become a songwriter and producer, and was a co-writer of Sarah Alto's Monsters from 2018. So the Eurovision connection sort of carries on through the family. At number 6, 1993, Sonia, Better the Devil You Know. Sonia was from the same sort of Stock Aitken Waterman stable as people like Kylie Minogue, Jason Donovan, Sunita, Hazel Dean, and many more besides, and had kind of a number of big hits in the late 80s and early 90s. And indeed, she ran Neve Kavanagh pretty close in the 1993 Eurovision Song Contest, another runner-up, and it's also, as you probably worked out, my top runner-up. It's a really fun song. It's kind of got a slight 1950s feel, but still got that Stock Aitken Waterman feel as well, which I've always enjoyed. And as you'd expect, Sonia, she gave a really good vocal performance, really engaging performance, and she still performs it to this day at various events. I've seen her at least 2 or 3 times, I think. I can't remember. I've certainly seen her at the Vauxhall Tavern. I've seen her at various Pride events as well. So she keeps going to this day, and a very worthy second place it was. So we go from one redhead with a big voice to another redhead with a big voice, who happens also to be Scottish, our second Scots of this group. It's at number 5. It's 1969, Lulu, Boom Bang a Bang. Finally, we get to our first winner. This won in 1969. Admittedly, it was a joint winner with 3 other countries. That was before they got sorted out what happened when there was a tie, but a win is a win. And this was actually the UK's second win at the tie. Lulu was already kind of quite a well-known pop star. She also had a TV programme on the BBC as well. So she was quite well-known, although still being very young at the time, and she was asked to do Eurovision. And which one I won it. With this really engaging song. It's a lot of fun. It feels it's not exactly the most perhaps lyrically complex of songs, but it feels like it sums up a little bit kind of the spirit of the 60s and that kind of freedom. And of course, back then, they had no kind of staging or lighting or camera angles or anything like that, and yet you can see the kind of energy and cheekiness that Lulu kind of injects into the performance. It's a lot of fun. She's been quite open that she'd say this wouldn't have been, it's not her favourite song, it's not the kind of thing that she enjoys to sing, but then she did say that, she said if they asked her to sing Bar Bar Black Sheep, they thought it would win, she would have sung it. So I think she's probably of the view that a win is a win as well. And finally, number 4, it's 1967, Sandy Shaw, Puppet on a String.
I wonder if one day that you say that you care, if you say you love me madly, I'd gladly be there like a puppet on a string.
This will always be a kind of historic point for the UK in Eurovision because it was the first ever UK win. After quite a number of years of coming second or very, very high, Sandy Shaw finally got to the UK that first win. And Sandy Shaw in many ways is like almost she also embodies the swinging 60s. She'd already had a couple of number ones even before this. She's always been quite open that this was not necessarily her favourite song. She thought it was, she thought it was a bit of claptrap, I think, really, and in terms of some of the kind of lyrics was not particularly feminist, shall we say. But she did went and she'd record another version of it many years later, which she preferred. But yes, she's never been that fond necessarily of the song. But there's no doubting its success. It's not the easiest song to sing, I think, as well, which I think, and it's got such a 60s feel to it. It went on to be number 1 in about 10 countries and certainly did extremely well in a number of other countries. It was certainly the most successful, commercially successful Eurovision winner or song to that date. And instead it sold over 4 million copies around the world, which from what I read is potentially still one of the best-selling or the best-selling global single by a British female artist. So yes, a tremendous sort of success back then. And fortunately, it wasn't a sole success, not like Spain, who got their late 60s wins and then haven't had any since. It was the start, at least, of a run of success for the UK. And we'll be back soon with the final 3. I'm sure you can work out which 3 they are, but in which order will they be? Join me then.